Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. Sign up for my weekly email to receive free project sheets and updates on sales. I did it again. I bought the stamp and die set right off the cover of the catalog because I had to have it, and I was so intimidated to use it that it has literally sat on my shelf for months. So I thought, hey, maybe you guys have the same problem. I had no idea how to use these stamps to make the tulip fields that are on the front of that mini catalog. So today's card, I'm going to show you how to use this, and actually it's really simple, and it's really simple to make a really awesome card using the die sets in that bundle. Now, if you don't have this set, don't worry. I feel like you can use this same kind of off the side design, with any kind of stamp set that you have, or if you have like a really large die, just cut it off the side to make this cool card. Now, if you are interested in a catalog, you can head over to my website, sunnydaystamping.com, to request one there. Let's get started. Here's a closer look at this incredible die, which is why I bought the bundle to begin with, because this is just so impressive. And look at all the other things you get in this die set. This bike, the tree gets cut out, the clouds get cut out, even these little trees down here. And this windmill you can use just to color, you can color that in and cut it out. This bundle is available till June 2nd. I've got a link down below in the description to purchase these supplies and any of the supplies I use in my videos. So these are the colors I'm going to be using. I'm going to use these for my tulip fields, and these to just give a tint of blue to the sky. So this piece of paper is 5 by 3 3/4, and this one's 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 with a regular card base. You're also going to need some scraps for your windmill and the clouds. All of those measurements are over on my website, sunnydaystamping.com. I also have a link down in the description to take you right to the blog post that'll give you all the information. If you prefer to have a printed project sheet that has some written instructions, all of the supplies that you'll need, and the measurements, I send these out to my email subscribers, so you can sign up for my email down below also. We're going to start by getting all the elements ready for our card first, and we're going to die cut out our windmill, and we'll do the clouds too. I'm going to ink them up in balmy blue and just stamp them on the scrap piece of paper. I'm going to do 2 large clouds and 1 small. And then I'm going to go cut these out on my die machine. I like to tape these down with a little washi tape to keep them in place. So I've got a couple tips to share with you. When I was testing this, I noticed that when I had my dies kind of close to the edge, it didn't cut out as well. So make sure on these intricate dies that they're kind of in the center. You can also run them through twice. Like I ran it through and then I cranked it back through to come out this way. So now we gotta get all these little pieces out of here. Now Stampin' Up! Has a tool. It's called a Take Your Pick tool. I don't have it, but it comes with a brush that you just run it over your pieces and they just come out so easily. That is on my wish list. But in the meantime, I'm going to use a little toothpick. Okay, now we're going to glue these together. Let me get all this confetti out of the way. And I'm just going to put glue on just the big sections, just because I don't feel like doing all the rest. I mean, you could just maybe lightly do like this. Now, if you are not crazy about this color of windmill, you can use other papers. At the end, I'll show you one that I made in vanilla and white, which is just beautiful. At the end, I also have, I'll show you just some different color combinations and ideas to decorate the inside of your card. So can wait till then. Now I'm just going to put glue just in that circle, and I'm going to line it up in the circle there. Now they put this hole here because you could put a brad on here so that you could actually spin this thing. So that's really cool. I'm not going to do that today, but you could definitely give that a try. So once you get the dies cut out, this card really goes together really quickly. I'm going to show you how to do these tulip fields. So you're going to grab this big long stamp out of your stamp set, and you want to make sure it's nice and straight on your block. So I'm going to line it up on my grid paper and then press my block onto here. Now you can see I do not have the right size block. Make sure you buy the block I, which is extra long. But you know what? For this card, I didn't need it because I'm doing it in the vertical orientation. Okay, so now I'm gonna line up my stamp on here. Now you can see I am doing it off to the side, but that's because that's how I'm doing it on my card. I wanted this to be really kind of an interesting angle. Now you're going to take your 5 by 3 3/4 paper. You're going to line that up on your grid paper too, just because I really want that horizon line to be nice and straight. Now I'm going to use real red. And when you're designing your card, I mean, you can use, gosh, any colors that you want. But for mine, I wanted whatever was my predominant color of tulip. That's the cardstock I chose. Now we're going to take this, and in order to have our windmill coming, I want it coming off of my paper when I put it on my card. So I want my tulips to be in the right spot, which is 1.5 inches from the bottom. And I'm going to use my grid paper. Each one of these little squares is 1/4 inch. So I'm going to go up 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to stamp my tulip horizon, and I'm going to hopefully do this right because I'm not right over my paper. Let's see how I did. Yes, so you can see that it's lined up on both sides there. Now you're going to take this huge wedge of tulips, and I'm going to use the same color as my horizon line. You could use something different, but now I'm going to put the tip in between the tip of that tulip, and I'm going to go just straight down. I kind of rock mine down, press nice and good. There we go. Now you're going to want to wipe off this before you use a different color. This is a simply chamois. I'm going to use crushed curry. I better get the rest of these colors out of here. And I'm going to also use Highland Heather. All right, so now you're going to put, you're going to line this up so it's parallel with this tulip field here. Now you can see that there's a margin on the stamp. I'm looking right through that. I do want a margin. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to move this so it's over my eyes. There we go. I want a margin. I want a little row between my tulips so that, you know, people can walk in there. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side, lining up my tulip fields so they are parallel here. Oh, I didn't do such a great job on that one, but I think it'll be okay. Wipe it off before you use your other color. I'm going to use Highland Heather. Again, choose whatever colors are your favorite. One more to fill this in. There we go. Now just wipe this off. And now grab your blue. What we're going to do is put some sky on here. Now this is totally optional, but I just think it looks really pretty. I'm just going to do a light blue on the sky. So I'm going to ink this up. I'm going to put it on my paper first and then bring it onto my cardstock. I don't want this to be dark. I want this to be, you know, a faint blue, but I actually really did like the darker blue along the edge when I was testing this out. Now normally you would want to cover up your whatever you've stamped before so that you don't get color in your blending brush, but because this is so you don't get the color from your blending brush into your stamps. But because this is so light, I didn't take the time to do that, and it really worked out just fine. All right, now, oh wait, no, before we do this, they have these little tiny trees that kind of give the illusion that they're really far off in the distance. So I'm going to put these on here. I'm going to do them in black just because I didn't want to add an extra color to your shopping cart because I feel like there's so many supplies for this card, but you could definitely do those in green. I think I would have stamped these a little closer down here if I would have been paying more attention. Now, placing your windmill, you can do it like this so that only part of it is coming off the paper if you want. I liked the idea of really slicing this die cut, so I'm gonna make sure that when I flip this over to cut this off that I can see quite a bit of my windmill there. So that's how I'm going to orient it. So I'm going to grab my glue. I don't want to put too much glue on this because I don't want to get glue everywhere. I'm going to put a little glue here to hold down that side to make sure that side of the windmill is nice and secure, right? And then I'm going to put glue on this side only, kind of a little more than half. And we're going to press this down. I want to make sure that my windmill is nice and parallel with my horizon line of the tulips. Squish it over. I got to pick this up to look at it, make sure I'm nice and straight. I'm going to scoot it over just a little bit more. There we go. And then push that down. Now, once that's dried for just like less than a minute, you're going to flip it over. You're going to need, I use some long scissors to just trim along the edge using the white as your guide and to trim that off. There, looks so cool. Now you can put it on your card base. If you want to stamp a sentiment on the front of your card, you can go ahead and do that too. Like this one I did. I tucked a little Happy Mother's Day there. But I'm actually going to put the sentiments on the inside of the card for this one because I didn't want it to detract from the tulip field scene that's going on here. Now, there are other dies in this set that you could use to embellish this. I just didn't want to get into all of it, but there is little fence pieces that you could put along the side. A nice tree that you stamp and cut out, and I would put that kind of hanging off the edge here. But we're just going to use our little clouds, and because this is such a light blue, now these clouds really pop out, which I think is so nice. Just going to put a little glue. I'm going to use my large cloud kind of low and making sure it extends off the side of my paper here, just like this windmill piece there. I'm going to put the other one kind of high and in the middle, and then this little one we'll put in between those two, but more towards the left, like that. Now, because we cut all these, and if that wasn't glued down really well, you can take a little bit of glue and just a little bit and dab it along those edges so that they don't get bent. There, I mean, that is done. So now you can just stamp the inside. This is the inside piece, and I'm going to use sentiments out of this flowering tulips. This is actually designed to go with the bundle that we've been using, so I'm going to use the sentiments out of there. And I'm just about to show you some other examples of what you can do on the inside. We're going to just make this one really quick. This is a birthday card. Sometimes when I want my fingers to run along here really well and I have a little bit of glue on my fingers, I tuck my hand inside my shirt. That works really well. So this is what it looks like in different color background cardstocks. These I put 2 trees. This one I didn't put any, but let me show you the inside. These are all used with that die set to create some just really cool things. Oh, I taped that shut to photograph it. But look at that little bike. It's adorable. So this one, I did a different color windmill. This is white with a vanilla base and a crumb cake blades. All of these stamps come from, well, the flowering tulips here, and then the Tulip Fields has this awesome thing which looks great on envelopes too. The last thing I wanted to show you was what it looks like if you just want to do the windmill directly in the center. And there's a little bike on the inside. Oh, for this, I cut out the bike twice, once in red, once in brown or black, whatever. And then you just trim away the pieces that you don't want. If there are any other stamps and die sets that you were in the same situation as me and did not know how to use them, please reach out to me. I'd love to be your demonstrator and help you to get the most use out of your purchases. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.